Alright, so now I'm going to create a full web page using an HTML. And what is an HTML? That is hypertext markable language. And in HTML, we have elements, series of elements. So these all are elements we have, and HTML elements tell the browser how to display the content. For example, this is an element, each one, and this is the heading. That's mean we can put whatever the content we like, and it tells the browser to show your content in different styles. All right, and what these all elements we have. So doc type HTML is declaration that define this document is an HTML5 document. And then we have the root element of the HTML. And then this is the head section. Inside head section we put title of the web page and few other information like meta description and meta keywords. And meta description and meta keywords are used for search engines to rank your pages based on your description, and also to rank your page on the basis of your keywords. But that's again a different domain that is called search engine optimization, SEO. But we put these tags inside the head section. And then we have the body tag where we put our HTML elements, and those elements are visible to users. All right, and if I show you the layout looks like it's a structure, but the layout looks like that. We have an HTML tag, then the head tags, and then inside the body we put as many elements we want to display our contents. All right, and if I show you an example, let's say if I and another thing I like to mention that HTML is a client side programming, so you can see the source code of any page on the internet, right? So let's open a website, let's say bestbuy.com, and I like to see the source code. So but let me explain the content here. So we have navigation on the top, we have also a navigation, this is the header section, and then we have the navigation, then we have an image, and then it's a content area, and then many other elements inside this web page. But I like to show you the head section of this website. So if you look at the title, so the title is Best Buy official online store. That's mean that title should be inside the head tag. All right, if I press Control U, you will see the source code of this web page. And other thing is that you can right click and then view page source. That means you can look at the source code of any web page. And this website is also having some additional information, like it's saying that this website is it's in English US, and this is the head section. Okay, so what I like to show you that few interesting information, that this is the title tag we have that is shown here. And if you just hover to this tab, you will see the title here. Okay, and then it's the meta description. So these are the keywords we have, that the meta name keywords, and this website is rank on these keywords. But there are also a competition in search engine optimization. Yeah, this is also out of scope of this tutorial. But so the main idea is that we can put meta description, and we can also put meta keywords, so that search engine can understand our web pages. So this is the description of their website, like show Best Buy for electronics, computer appliances, and cell phones, video games, and much more. All right, so now back to our structure of HTML pages. So we have these elements. These are elements on the right side, and this each one is a heading tag that is used to make your text all in a bigger size as compared to the normal paragraph text. Then we have paragraphs that actually we already know it's a paragraph. And then we so we call them tags. Sometimes I say tags and elements. So in programming languages, in mostly in HTML, mostly used name is tags. So we have tags, but anyway, these are elements. So elements have attributes. We will discuss attributes in a few minutes, but the content will come inside these tags. Okay, so we have a tag, each one is an element. My first heading, that would be your first heading, and then we have a paragraph tag, my first paragraph. All right. All right. So that we discussed that we have headings we have h1 h2 h3 h4 up page 6 we have headings, and then this is in a paragraph tags, and this is a link. Now link, if you need to link a website in internal or external, then the element name is a href, and if you provide the source of URL means uniform resource locator of the web page, and then you give the name. It's this content is visible to the user, so that it will show like this is a link. All right. All right, so then we have image source. We will show these all tags in a few minutes, but let's look at these tags first. Then we have image tag. Then okay, so now we have attributes. Attributes mean that we have elements, and then this is an attribute, that is title, is the tooltip, this is the paragraph. Okay, so I think now let's start coding. And just to mention one thing, that single or double quotes in attributes in HTML, it doesn't matter. Double quotes on attributes are most common in it, but single quotes can also be used. So there is not a problem if you use single quotes or double quotes. I'm saying here that if you use single quotes here, that would not be a problem here. And in some situation where attributes value itself contain double quotes, it is necessary to use single quotes. Okay, so if there is a double quote inside, then use a single quote outside. Then if it's a single quote inside, then use a double quote outside. That's common, I think, in other programming languages as well. All right, so in HTML we can put comments like we have an angle bracket, not equals sign, two dash dash, and then that will be your comment. And the short code is to is control and forward slash. All right, I think, so let's continue writing code, and I'm going to open a Visual Studio Code and going to create a new file, and that would be my file name. Let's say this is index.html, HTML hypertext markable language. That would be a HTML markable text language. And we discussed that that would be an HTML opening tag, and the compiler will automatically close this tag. And then we have the head section where we put title, meta description, and keywords, among many other things. Like we can also put internal style sheet, external style sheet, then we can also put JavaScript files inside. And what else? And then there are schemas these days that we can put inside the head text. But anyway, let's continue with just title, that this is my website. And let's have a body tag, and the compiler, this compiler automatically close the tags, and then put one element that is in a heading tags, that would be my website. All right, and let's open this one. So we need to go to this directory. We have these files, that is on desktop 319, and then HTML, and the name of file is index. Okay, so that's the web page. We have just one heading, and if you hover this tab, you see this is the title of your web page. Okay, this is my website. You can change whatever you want. Anyway, now let's try to make this website, and also to use some styles. All right, so I'm going to, okay, let's first discuss some elements. So we have h1 tag and these, and let's have an h2 tag. We have h2 tags, that is heading 2. Then we have h3 tags, but these are total 6, and then heading 3. And if I see this one, you will see then this is a little bigger than we have even smaller than the first one. And then we have actually 6 headings, and we have paragraph tag. That's mean we can take some paragraph, like that's very common, lot of myth, some dummy text. And I'm going to take some some text from online, and I'm going to put this inside my web page. That's some dummy text, and we're going to put this inside a paragraph tag, and you'll see how it looks like in our web page. All right, so that's a paragraph tag. And Then we have I'm trying to teach you the most common elements we have in almost most of the websites, right? And then we have the tags elements. We have image. Image has source, that you need to provide internal source or external source, and it has an attribute width, and it has an attribute height. And let's put one image. That is, there is only one image inside this directory, so let's have an internal source first, and then we can put an external source. So I'm going to put an internal source that I that is, I just need to write the name of the file. It automatically pop up the file name. And then let's have a width 200 pixels to by 100 pixel. Okay, that's the width and height. And you'll see that you're going to have an image here. And it has an attribute. It has an attributes. One is alt, that is again used for search engines. That is, this is my image. But if you trying to have a tech website, and you are going to have an image for, let's say, MacBook M3, then you will put a MacBook M3. That's that the search engine will understand that this web page is about M3 MacBook. Okay, so that tag is again for search engine. But let's have a title tag that is also useful for search engine. But let's say this is my timetable, and I'm going to make it capitalize it, because just to make it. Okay, so if I hover, you will see that tooltip is showing that is the timetable. All right, and then how can we give a link? That would be in a ref, that could be internal source and external source. And then it has an attribute target. Target's blank, that means it will open a web page to a new website. And inside this tag is visible to user. That's mean we have let's say this this is a link to Google. Okay, and then it will be https colon colon www.google.com. And if I refresh this page, if I click on this, it will open in a new tab. All right, and you'll get it. This is how we can give links. And what else we have? Any other interesting tag? Okay, so I need to discuss. Okay, let's now discuss styles. So we can give styles to headings. Let's say we have style, and let's change this color to aqua, the first heading, and change this color. We use tag style, all right, and then style, that will be, let's say I like to change the font family for this. That will be Franklin. and and I like to change the background color of this paragraph. That will be style background color, and let's say that will be CC. It's like a gray color. And if I open a web page now, and you will see I applied some styling to these elements. Okay, and as you seen that this one is an aqua, this is another font size, and this is the background. All right, now let's look at from the slides. So we covered, so we have few more elements like text align center. It will move the heading into the in the center, and then that is again text align center. And we have we just covered style, background color, font family, font size, and then you can also move text align. Actually, let me use text align. That will be text align, that will be in center. Okay, so you will see that my first heading will move inside the center of this web of our web page that we are creating. All right, so now I need to go to my website. Now I think let's close this one, and also close Best Buy. And you will see this heading will move in the center. You see, this is text line center. All right, now let's move next. So we have other tags like bold, italic, subscript, and superscript. All right, these you just need. Let's use one. Let's say I like to make it italic. That is the heading 3, and I will move this tag, my content inside this tag. Okay, and you will see that this heading 3 will be in, this is now in italics. Alright, so now let's look at our slides again. So we have bold text, strong, italic, emphasized text, marked text, smaller text, deleted text, inserted text, superscript text, and again superscript text. Alright, so these elements can be used with these elements, alright, that we already know with headings, and we can also make our content more useful for various situations. Anyway, now HTML color, so we already covered the background color for the headings, and we already covered the background color for the paragraphs. And then we, now let's talk about styling sheet. Style sheet is stand for CSS, is cascading style sheet. Okay, and what we did just now, it's already a style, so we are already applying styling sheet, but we can make an internal style sheet and external style sheet. Internal style sheet can be put in almost anywhere in your HTML code, but I most of time programmers likes to put inside the head tag that will be in style, and I like to make my headings, let's say h1. H1 will be font size, the same thing I done before. I'm just going to, so h1 I'm just changing text align center and the color. Okay, that will be, that will be color uh, aqua, and what else we have, text align center. So that's mean this is internal style sheet, and now I don't need this code here because that's, we already defined about that, it's internal style sheet. And these three lines or two lines of code will apply to all headings, each one inside our HTML page. It will be applied to all each one headings. Okay, so if I now refresh my page, you will see the same thing will happen to this my website. It will remain here, so there will be no change. All right, and then we can uh, mm, define some styling for the heading 2. And for heading 2 we are saying that the heading 2 font family is Franklin, and this one, and now we don't need this one here. All right, because we defined above inside, this is internal style. So now I can also move paragraph above, and I can say background color. Oh, it's not a, it's background color actually, and that will be CC. and I don't need this code now here inside my p tag. Alright, so now you will see there will not be even a single change, it will remain same because I have defined almost everything inside a style sheet. Now let's look at few more tags. One is called padding. Padding is to have some space from all corners, that will be 10 pixel, let's say 10 pixels. So it will take 10 pixel for this paragraph from all side. You see now it takes a padding from here, padding from left, padding from right, and padding from bottom. All right, so but this is top right bottom left, but you can also manually assign. So I use control and forward slash, it will command um, cs, this is css code. Okay, inside css code will take commands like this way, and the short code is, the short command is control and forward slash, and that is padding. That's, let's say padding top, let's say 10 pixels. So now I'm applying padding just from top, that is just 10 pixel, and then padding. So I'm just giving you an idea of that the padding, if you only use the tag padding, then it will be top right bottom and left, and then padding right will be, let's say 10 pixel, and then padding bottom again will be 10 pixel, and then padding left will be 10 pixel. All right, and you'll see that it will take padding from all sides. And if instead of writing this 4 line of code, you can manually assign in a one tag, like padding that will be top 10 pixel, right 10 pixel, bottom 10 pixel, and left 10 pixel. Now I like to make this left 20 pixel so you can see the difference. So it will take 20 pixel from left side. Alright, you see this the difference here. So it's top, right, bottom, left. And anything else we have? So that's about internal style sheet. And if you have an external sheet, so that we discussed that we have styling and then we move the styling inside our head tag. And this is an internal style sheet that we have just covered. And external styles, so you can also make an external style sheet, and external style means it will be an external file. Alright, so let's make an external style sheet. That is, this is my style.css cascading style sheet, and I'm going to move this all code from here and move inside an external style sheet that will be here, and I paste it here. And now I need to include, because why I need an external style sheet, maybe I need to apply this styling to multiple elements inside multiple pages. Okay, so maybe we have multiple pages and we have the same elements. We need to apply the style sheet to multiple elements and also to multiple pages, because if I start writing code here, that's mean I'm writing this code just for this page. And if I have another page that looks exactly the same way that we have this page, then I need to again write the same code. That is not ideal to write the code again and again, because again we in programming languages in we always think about the reusability. So I'm thinking about reusability. Okay, so now I need to remove this one, and that will be link relation, that will be a style sheet and source. No, we need to give a source that will be href, and the source is in style, that we have the file. And now you will not see a single change, because we have the styling in an external file and then we include that file inside this page. And let's say we have another page, we can include the same thing, and that the style of h1 h2 and paragraph will apply to those elements. Okay, so now let's see the change actually. Do we have any change? So everything's fine. Now let's discuss tables. So tables we have, the first row is table heading. Okay, so that's when a table heading, th table heading, and then is company, contact, and country, and that's the first row. Okay, tr is row. Then we have table divisions. So that's mean the first company name is this Alfred, and the second company name in second row is centro commercial, and then the second division contact, they have this contact Maria and then Francisco, and the country is the Germany and the Mexico. So the first row, let's have a table here, and that is, we're going to have a table. The tag is table and opening and closing tag, and then we have the first row, that is tr first row, and then we have table headings, that is th, and the heading is, let's say, let's try to have exactly the same thing. We have company, and then let's copy from here and paste, and then paste the third one here, third company and contact, and then we have country. So I'm going to have just one more row, that is tr. Now we have table divisions. Okay, the first row, first division, the company division will take, let's say, companies Alfreds, or Alfreds, I'm not sure, but, and then we have the contact, let's say, let's put their contact number, contact by Maria, and then we have the country, that is Mexico. All right, and let's have a look how it looks like, that we have a table here. Okay, so we can assign table a, let's let's style this table. So we have um, table, and the styling that is important that we need to give a border that table we have table, then we have table head, and then we have table division. So I'm going to assign border that will be 1 pixel solely black, and the border will be collapsed, that will look like a very sharp line. Let's first look at the difference first. That will be a table, then we have table heading, and then we have table divisions. And I'm going to assign border 1 pixel solid, and the color is, let's say, is black and black. And let's see the difference first. Okay, if I do not use border collapse, okay, so you will see it will be a thick line. You see it looks like this way. But if I use a border collapse is equal to collapse, you will see a sharp line like that, with that mostly we use in most of the tables. And then you can use like paddings so that it looks like, so again it's top right bottom left, and you'll see a padding looks like that way. That's an table we have. And then what else we can assign? We can assign background colors to table head and divisions. That will be a this code for that color. And we can also give a border color to tables. So you can style whatever you want for all elements we have in an HTML page. All right. And okay, so we have table divisions. You see that table division is, if I make this table 100% width, then it will be expanded to a full page. Okay, and but here I'm saying that table style will be, so width will be 100%. Let's give 100% width, and table width, so it's an attribute, width is equal to 100%. Okay, so you will see this will be in, it will take a full page. You see that's a full page. Now what I'm saying, that you can also assign manual weights to table divisions. That is that I want that this, the second division should have 70%. Okay, and the remaining will be then 30% left, 15, that's 15 and 15% for the remaining two divisions. All right, so that's the difference, that you can assign manual divisions. All right. What else? So we covered padding. So padding is always top right bottom left. And then we have list, HTML list. In HTML list we have unordered list, that is with these small circles, and then we have ordered list with whole numbers 1 2 3 4. And for unordered list we use, it's again the tag name is saying unordered, you unordered and the list. Then we have coffee, tea, milk. And then for ordered list we have these coffee, tea and milk. And let's have a one list as well after this table, and also put one HR line, just to have a horizontal line. HR stand for horizontal line. You'll see this is a horizontal line. And have one unordered list with list elements. Those are, let's say, I'm going to have li, and that is my home. Actually I will use these lists in a few minutes when I'm going to create a web page that looks like a web page. Home, let's say we have contacts, and we have two unordered lists, and that is with small circle unordered list. All right, what else we have? We in inside an HTML we have divs. So before we discuss div, let's look at div. We have the important one is HTML forms. So let's have an HTML forms, and then we discuss div. And HTML forms are important because in HTML web pages most of the time we have forms. So that is, we have a form tag, form, and then it has method, attribute, method that would be a post or get. If we use post, then everything will be hidden in your browser. If you use get method, you will see whatever the value you pass from these text elements. But let's have a method, and then there will be an action who will process this form. We will see this form, we will see action maybe later in this course, but at this point we have two attributes, method and action. And then we have label, label for your first element, that is, let's say we have a name, and I like to break this one, break that, move to a next line. And then we have input type, input type that we are going to take some input from user. That will be, we have multiple input types. We have button, we have checkbox, we have color, daytime, email, file, hidden, images, month, numbers, password. If you only taking numbers, then you have seen this. Then if you typing password, that will be like a hidden password, like a circles, you see that nobody can see what you are typing. And then radio buttons, range, resets, these all are input types. So we're gonna use just an text element, and its name going to be my, let's say, name, because we take some input as a name. And anything else that we can use id. Why we use id? Because maybe at some point we need to do a validation using a javascript, then we use id. And that will be our first element, our first input type, that will be a text. And then we have another label, that that's, let's say, email. and and that will take, again I just copy the same code from here and paste it here, and then you see that will be an email. And this is a very interesting thing these days provided to you by an HTML. If you just use required, one is read only and one is required. That means if you try to submit this form and do not enter any value, and we are saying you need to enter some information, that is, this is like a validation. We can do validation three ways. One is to use this like that way, required. Another one is to use javascript, and the third one is to use server side programming to again validate these things. But anyway, that's again a complex things to discuss in this lecture, but we trying to understand HTML at this point. So that will be a required, email is required. And we use email here, that's mean it automatically take email pattern. And then let's say we have one more label, that is label, that we're going to take password. And that will be input type, that will be equal to password. And then we have name it, so its name is email. So each element will have a different names, email, and that will be password, and id will be a password. We don't need id at this point, but anyway we just using an id. Maybe in the future we're gonna use the same forms to do some validations in this course. And then we need an input type button, that will be input type will be submit that the form we're going to submit this form. And then the name of the form, that will be a submit actually. And submit double quotes, and then value that is visible to user, submit. Okay, so let's have a look how it looks like this form. Let me close this one, and you'll see a form will be here. So that's the submit button. You can also use like a sign up, that is visible to user. It's like a content which is sign up here. So we have name, we have email, and then we have password. But the name and email fine, and I need to use a break line. Actually I'm using just break line just to explain HTML. But when we designing a complete web page, then we don't use like a break, we use divs and we use float to make it look like a professional. And let's put break here, let's put keyboard break here, and also put break here, and also put break here, just to give an idea of different HTML elements. So this is the form we have. All right, and then we can also give styling to this button. Let's say let's say uh let me assign a class. Okay, so we need to discuss class, but let's assign a manual first. Style, I'm going to give a background color. Background color, let's say I'm going to give background, uh let's say blue, and the color inside the text that is written inside that will be in, let's say color is white, and you will see blue and white. The button will look like a blue and white, and then there is a border. We can do more styling in a few minutes, but that's that's the elements we have. And anything in left for the elements. Okay, so we covered input type password, we covered, so we have these all elements that we already discussed, that these
And
are
then
just simple HTML tags that most of the time you have seen these in websites. But now let's try to make a web page with the head section, navigations, and then the left side, right side, and then the footer. Okay, that's most of time we have inside a web page. These are the common elements, not sections, not elements, sections we have. All right, now let me, before I teach you divs, let's assign something that looks like a class. So I like teach with class first, and then we move to divs. Okay, and I like to give a class to let's say this link. Okay, that will be a class. So we can also use class and id in style sheets. So this class is, let's say, my Google link. Okay, so before that we 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 have not assigned any styling to a elements, a link elements, but now we going to assign something to this with the class always start with dot and the name of your class. And now I'm saying that the color of that link that we have here, that looks like this is a link with Google, right? And I'm saying now the color is black, and text decoration none. Why text decoration none? Because you can see there is an underline, underneath there is a line. So if I use text decoration none, you will see there will not be any line. It has gone. And then we have anything else, color, and maybe we can text transform, that is to capitalize. Okay, so you will see these all letter will be in uppercase. Oh, capitalize, the first letter is capital, and if I uppercase, then you will see all elements will be in in capital letters. Okay, so these are all elements we have now. So this is how we can give class. Okay, so that we have class, and we also have an id is used for just for one divisions. And we if class we can give class to multiple elements inside your web page. All right, but now let's make a new web page with divs. I like to make it like a professional web page, and that's going to be, let's say, index2.html. And now I'm going to use the divs. And so what's the difference between divs and these elements? So that's meaning div is a block, and we can put multiple elements inside the div. And then we can, let's have an HTML tag, and then we're gonna have a head tag, and then we have title tag. And now it's going to be a complete web page, and my first website. All right, and we going to have a style sheet, internal style sheet. So I'm going to assign all style sheet inside in this web page, and I do not have any code at this point. And then we have a body tag, and inside body tag I'm going to have my first div, and that first div is, let's say it's my container div class. That is container means that I'm going to put almost all elements inside this div, and that div with the dot sign, opening closing bracket, and here's the div. Now I can put multiple elements inside this div, and let's close this div. This one, and I don't need this one here. So we have just one div inside, and the class name is container. All right, so now let's look this web page. It will show nothing, I'm sure. So we do not have any, but we only have a title, complete web page, and my first website. Okay, so now let's move to our div sections, and now let's have a header section. Div class, my header section, and that inside this header I'm going to have my navigation, and that navigation I'm going to use unordered list. And let's make a navigation first, and but let's make it like a headers. It's just a content. I like to show you how it looks like. That's a web page, and we have a div here. All right, and now I'm going to use navigation that will be, instead of having a header section, let's make a navigation first. And but we can put, you can put multiple uh, elements inside the header section, but I'm going to cover the basic web page that will cover navigation here. So you'll get an idea that how we can use divs, and that will be a navigation, and I'm going to use unordered list, and then I'm going to close this unordered list, and that will be my li elements, list elements, that is my home page. And I'm going to make it a link, a ref, and then home page, and I'm going to copy the same thing from here and paste it here, and that will be, let's say the second page is my contact form, contact us. All right, so I have two links. Now I'm going to make it a heading. Okay, but before that I'm not going to assign a background color to my container, and let's say the background color is CCC, and like to margin 0 auto. I like to move this into the center of my web page, and I like to assign a width, let's say 1080 to this web page, and you will see that we have a website looks like that way. Okay, now let's make the navigation. We have these small circle, but navigation like we already have seen, it's in the best website. It looks like some nice links like that way. So let's try to make it like that way. So we now I'm going to assign class. So we have this navigation div class, we have a navigation. So the idea div is that you can put multiple elements inside. So we have one div, and we have one unordered list element, then we have another element inside, then we have an a tag inside. So that's mean it's like a tree we have. And now I'm going to assign some styles to this one. That's meant the root node is navigation, and then we have unordered list. So I like to remove these small circles from here. So to remove these ones, so that the style is list style type none, that I don't want these circles here. And then I also don't need any margin, that is margin 0, padding 0. I don't need any padding. If there is any padding at default, then I don't need any padding. And then overflow, before we use overflow, let's have a background color, and that's background color, let's say we have a black navigation. And Okay, so let's have a look how it looks like. So we have a navigation here. There's no margin, no padding. Now, so that's we did. Okay. Now let's move these elements next to each other. That will be the second node. We need to go inside the second node. How because it's like a tree. The first outer, and then we have root, and then we have child node, and then we have inside we have li, that's mean list, that's mean that's the third elements we have, and then that's the fourth element we have, that's the fourth node we have. All right, so that's mean now that will be another list of list. Okay, so first we have navigation of another list, then we have navigation another list, and then list. Okay, for that one I need to move list, I need to float. We use float left to move to float these elements. You will see now the contact us will move next to home. Okay. Now this we have home and contact us, but the color is gone from here. So the when something is floating, the one way is to use to clear both because these elements are floating. But if you use overflow hidden, by default these elements will be cleared. Okay, that overflow hidden. Okay, and you will see the color will come back again. All right, so we float these elements, but I like to make this navigation more beautiful because we just applied the first unordered list, we remove those circle list style by none, and then we float these elements, and then we have a background color. But the last node we have is links. These are actually links we have. That's mean we need to apply styling to links. So I like to see these links as blocks. So that's mean if I hover to these blocks, these all should be clickable, right? And I'll show you an example. That's when we have navigation, order list, and then we have inside a tag that is element that is a link, and that I like to display like a block, and I like to give a padding, let's say padding 1 pixel, and you will see it looks like a nice navigation now. Okay, so that's the navigation, and I like to remove a line that is text decoration, tag decoration none. I like to change the color, that will be FFF because FF will be good on a black background. And then okay, everything looks like, and now I can do one more thing. I can give a border to right. Let's say border right. Yes, there is a property border right 1 pixel solid, and let's give a light gray color so it will separate. You see, and now I like to when I hover, I like to change the background. So that's mean we have another list and a. That's mean if I hover, that's the property name is hover. So that's mean it will be a colon hover. And I just like to change the background color when I hover. So that looks like background background color. Let's say we like to make it green, and we have white, and then because okay, let me show you first. If I refresh and you see it's I hover, it's looks like a green color, but I'll also like to change the link color to black. So that's mean I need to define the property here, that will be color, and I like to make it black again. All right, so you will see hover, now it's black, hover, it's now it's black. All right, so we have the navigation, and that's the header section. Now I like to put some content inside my left area and my right area, right? And let's have few more divs. Right, so now okay, so This is the first div we have, and we have just a navigation, and that's the container, outside container. And do we have any background color for the container? Width and background color is gray, okay. And it doesn't have any padding, but let's have some divs. So now we have another div, a block that will be, let's say, class, that will be content area, and it, that's the content area, and I like to make it content. And let's show you first. So that's the content area. So why are we having a background color? That background color is coming from the background of container, because everything is inside. And inside this content area, I like to have first div class left side, and that is my left side. And then I'm going to have a div class that's going to be a right side, and I just right side to make it right side. And we already familiar with the float, okay? So that's left side and the right side. All right. Mm, I like to make this left side 70% and the remaining 30% for the right side. So, but how can I make it? Because the left side and they need to be side by side. That's mean I need to use a float property again, okay? So that's mean I need to float these two elements, these two blocks. And let's assign a class name. I'm going to make a class here that we dot left side and float left, and then we have dot right side. Is it right side? Yes, it's right side. And I'm going to use float left, and then you will see they will be floating. Now again background color gone, that's mean I need to clear. Exactly the same thing happened before. We use overflow hidden, that is for list elements, but if you are using uh, blocks like divs, there is a property that is, if these two are floating, you need to clear them, otherwise they will be they will remain in a floating state. So that's mean div class clear, that means clear both, close the column, and you will see the background will come back again. No, div star, oh, that is style clear both, okay, that's not a class. And you see now they are floating. All right, so now I like to give width 70% to the left content, uh, and 30% to the right content. Width here and here, and you will see that why I assigned these classes. Now you see this is the left area, this is right side area, okay. Why I class assigned, I like to change the background color of my left side. Let's say background color, that is, let's say, um hmm, we can use a color picker, okay. That is also available online, color pickers. You can select some nice colors. uh I'm going to have a light green, and this is the hex code I'm going to use it, and that is for my left side area. And background color for the right side area, let's say I'm going to have a light this color, and I'm going to use a code here. I need to select everybody, and you will see my left and right side looks different. All right, so now I have left side area and a right side area. I like to make something more interesting. Why? Because I like to put some look like real web page, and it's, let's say I like to make this left area further into 3 more divs. Okay, this is exactly looks like, because um, we have some posts inside web pages, and I like to make this one left area. I like to have few more divs inside. That will be my div class That will be some class I will assign later. That will, let's say, div first, and then I'm going to copy this one and paste 2 and 3 and 1 2 and 3, and they again will be in a vertical, but I need to move side by side, so that's mean I need to use float property style float. You can assign uh, a class to them, or you can also manually assign inside here, but anyway I'm going to make it a class. That let's say blog post. Okay, that will be a blog post, and float left, and anything else. Okay, just float left. That's mean if they are floating, they will float left. If they are floating, okay, so I need to assign actual class. They are not floating. Copy from here and move it here. That is blog post, and I'm going to use this one here as well, and I'm going to use here as well. I like to show you one thing actually. If they are floating, that means you need to clear, because again the background color of the container gone. These all are floating. I need to use div inside here because these three are floating. Div class clear, or not class, it's actually a style clear both. All right, and I'm going to close it, and you will see there's not any change, but we will see the change. Okay, but the idea is if you are using a float property, you need to clear it. Okay, now let's put some content inside here. So I'm going to just open this first div and trying to put multiple elements inside here. That will be a, let's say we have h3 tag, and inside h3 we have a heading, a link, a ref, and that will be let's say we have a tank website, and we have, and let me close also h3 tag, and we have a link that will display, let's say, S25 Ultra. Now these days in the market, S25 Ultra specifications. Okay, that's my first blog post, and let's see how it looks like. So we have the first one, the first link, and then we have, let's put some paragraph to explain a little bit about. That will be p tag, again closing tag, and I'm going to take dummy tags. We already have a page here, let's take from here, but you can use a real tags, but anyway I'm going to use these tags here. And then after that we have a p tag inside, so now we have, it looks like a blog post. You see it covers the whole area. I will give weight to them, but let's see, we have p tags, and the final link is, let's say we have again tag, that's let's say we had 6 heading. Okay, and then we have inside a tag, a ref, and see more. Okay, just see more to look at the complete specification of this link. All right, there will be a link. Anyway, now if I refresh it, you see that we have a link here, but it covers the whole area of left side, but I like to make it a 30% because they are trying to take the whole space. And float let blog post, that means width will be width will be 30 px 30%, or you can give in pixels. Let's make it 30%. That's the first one 30%, that's the second one, the fourth one 30, but again we have 10% left. So we gonna assign pixel here, and I show you one thing in a few minutes, but let's also give border 1 pixel solid color CC gray color, and you will see it where I got the color. But blog post border 1 pixel solid. Okay, do I have a color background? Nope. Okay, and let's make it 300 pixel and see. Okay, so yes, we have a border. Yes, there is a border, but it's the color. Actually, I didn't select the right color. There is a border. Let's change it to a black color. There is a border there. It's showing, but inside green, it's very difficult to see inside. So we actually have color there, and then we have these two divs, and I made this width 300 pixels. Okay, so we have this one. This div has some content inside, and that is the left side. Uh, there's the left side, and I just copy paste the same thing from here. So instead of writing the same thing one more time, I'm going to remove these divs and put the same thing inside one more time, three divs inside here, and you will see. And this one. Now problem is I assign I have assigned 300 pixel, and that is more than the area we have here. Okay, so that means 300 with 900 pixels we have. One way is to inspect the element here and look at the divs, and then assign something and see the width that you need inside your web page. This is I learned when I was doing programming. I was actually a backend coder, background programmer. But when I had an experience with the graphic designer, he was doing like that way. I said, "How are you doing like that way?" He said, "This is easy to understand," and found this trick from here. So that's mean I need to reduce the size from here, and you can get an idea how much pixels we need. Otherwise, you will be playing around 200, 300. You don't get the right idea. Now you see, oh, okay, 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 and I also need some margin, and I'm going to have a 10 pixel of margin, let's say. So it's saying 240 pixel. So I'm going to assign 240 pixels. Okay. Now if I refresh, these settings will be disappear from here. So that means you just copy code from here and paste it here. That's the very nice trick that I learned during my career as a backend programmer, but I was also in touch with the designer. Okay, so now you see I applied this one. Now you can also assign the same thing here. The other properties, like I like to give padding, let's say 10 pixel. So you see now again they go on to next page. That's mean I need to reduce something here. So it's taking padding 10 pixels, inside the content is 10 pixel, and then I like to give some margin, let's say 10 pixel, and you see now they are separated, and now I need to again reduce this size so they can be on my left side, and I'm reducing size, and here we go, we have. And do they look nice? One more pixel. No, no more. If I would use one more pixel, it will move to a next page, and I copy code from here and I will paste it here, and I use tabs to make it indentation, and you see it will be applied here. All right, but the problem is, it's not a problem actually. We have three sections, but we have a lot of text. So then now let's assign some styling to these one. Let's say the first one is S25, and the second one is let's say we have iPhone 16 plus, and then the fourth one is, let's say we have which phone is these days in the market. We have iPhone, Samsung, and then we have Motorola. I don't know the model, but anyway, Motorola's just random model. Motorola Moto G, let's say we have this one, and now we have three different links. Okay, now let's give some styling and to make it beautiful. Okay, and we can start from the heading tags. Okay, so that's mean we have a blog post. Again, we have a hierarchy. We have blog post, and then we inside we have h3, then we have p, then we have h6, and we can mm, assign code exactly the same we are doing before. That is h3 of blog post of h3, and h3 we have inside an a tag. Okay, that will be h3 a, and text decoration, tag decoration none. I like to remove this line. You see the line gone, and I like to change the color, let's say white, and white is not looking, black is will be nice. 000, and okay, that looks nice. And what else? You can also change the now let's give some styling to p tag that we have blog post of p. We do not have a hierarchy there. That is blog post of p. That's let's text line text decoration. No, not a text decoration. I like to use a justification text. Align. Yes, that is that's the property. That is justify, and that looks a little bit nice. But I put a lot of text inside. That's not making any nice look. But anyway, that's an idea. We are doing some styling, and we also give some paddings. And what else? I am going to remove this one. So this is our header section, contact us. Then we have some three sections inside. We have some links, we have paragraphs, then we have more links, then we have right side. Right side is a different area, and that's the background of web page will be gray. You can also change the background color of these divs. Now you are familiar with styling. And let's actually, we do not have a text like that way. We need to remove a little text from here so they look nice. They're not looking nice actually. That's the problem. I don't like to have this kind of, usually they are they are small boxes. Even this is bigger. And what they do, let me remove this sentence from here as well. Usually on website they put dot dot at the end. Okay, that will like that see more. That's why we have see more tag, that see more information on the next page. And then we're going to put some going to put one p here, just refresh. Now it looks a little bit nice compared to the previous version. All right, so now let's have one footer section, and that will be that's just an html, but this is again not a responsive one. For responsive one, we that there are a lot of framework these days available that are one is bootstrap. You just need to use the library, and that will be automatically responsive. That is bootstrap. I know this when I was again a programmer, web programmer, and this is the bootstrap, that you need to use the libraries, and your website will be responsive. But again, you need to know html, then you would be able to use bootstrap. Because if you don't know styling, because you don't use their default color and styling, you need to have an external style sheet for your web page. Now let's have, so we have content area start from here, and it's line 92. So that's mean this is the div, this is the div of the content. And let's have one footer, div class footer, and and then I'm going to assign an inside div. Let's again put three divs and some links. Uh, div class footer div, let's say, and one, and then copy from here, here, here. That will be your second one. Again, I will be using index source code to give them width. Okay, so we have now 1 2 3. This is the div area, and I like to now. Okay, one thing I like to mention, it doesn't mean that you always need to write, you need to go above and start writing code here. HTML, I don't know, it's a very user friendly language. You can put a style tag here because I like to see what I'm doing instead of jumping to the top of the page and writing code again there. That will be footer, that will be class footer here, and let's say background color black for the footer, and you'll see background will be black, and heading is also, we have the navigation is in black. I didn't put any content in the right side, but anyway, and inside we can put divs, and we need to float them and need to put inside links. Let's say unordered list we have here, and then we have li here, and that will have a one link, that is, let's say, about us, and then we have a link that will display uh, privacy policy, and then we have a link, then we have a link that display uh, carriers. Let's say we have these links, and I'm going to copy the same thing from here to here, and also put here. You can change the content inside these links, and we have these links, but I need to make it blocks, and for the blocks I need to float them. I need to use a float property that will be footer and inside footer we have unordered list. Then for list style type, again none, we don't need this. Okay, so that's mean we have this class footer div and float left. They will be now floating. You see now they are floating, but again we need to clear them because they again floating, and how where I need to put the code for the floating. So that means that this is the first div, and here second div, third div, it's ending here. We need to put here div class clear. Why I'm using class style clear both, then close this one, and you will see background color black will come back. And what else I need, I I can change now some styling, make it ul li of a, and change the color to, let's say, white. All right, and text decoration none, and you will see they will be in white color, but it is showing, oh, I use text align, it's text decoration none, and these few links we have. What else I need? Hmm, I think that's how we have some web pages. Okay, so now I can move this code from here, remove this tag from here, and move inside my style sheet, inline style sheet here, or I can move my all code from here Control X, and move into my style sheet. uh, Paste it here, Control S, and then this is the page that we have, and I don't need the style tag here to make it more beautiful. Then that will be the link relation style sheet, and ref that will be style, and you will get your exactly the same thing. I think enough for today. That's about HTML that I know. You can do styling here, you can do styling here, you can also style this one, you can do styling here, you can put forms here, you can do whatever you want. HTML is very simple language.